So when the 26/11 attacks happened, what was the impact of that on Dr. Manmohan Singh?
I think it was quite bad.
Yeah.
If you remember 26/11, 2008. Now, in the early part of 2008, till then, two things were happening. One was the economy was doing actually quite well, and you were really in a bright spot. Everyone was talking about the Indian economy, and everything was looking quite good. He hadn't got into the controversies which he had gotten to closer to the Commonwealth Games and in his second term. This is before 2009. We are still talking of
The first term.
the first term. Also, so that was internally. Externally, two things were happening. Number one, he was on the top with the conclusion of the US deal, the nuclear deal. 2005, of course, and then 2008 was the NSG waiver. He had just won a very difficult vote in Parliament, defeated the left, and completely endorsed and the Parliament endorsed his US policy. So he became the first Prime Minister to actually have the sanctions removed and to have that leap of faith in the US relationship. So he was riding high on that.
And staked personal capital on that completely.
Completely. I mean, from 2005 to 2008, I would say that was his principal preoccupation. So, in a sense, he was actually the architect of the turnaround of the India-US. And the second thing which was going on was the India-Pakistan dialogue through the back channel under, even when President Musharraf was there. And that was going reasonably well. Very few people knew the details.
Satilamba and the others.
Yeah. You know more, seem to know everything. So that was going on, and that was good, and it was with his blessings. And he was very keen to find some solution on Kashmir. And, in 2007, you started the cross LOC trade, and things were happening on that India-Pakistan, which would never happened in the past. There was some very bold moves were taking place. But then, in late 2007, after Musharraf was removed, the whole thing collapsed, this dialogue. And in September 2008, this is before November, the global financial crisis happened. So all of a sudden, you found that things were going really well. First, the Pakistan back channel and the efforts seemed to be crumbling. Second, for no fault of yours, you were faced with this classic global financial meltdown. And then, 2 months later, 26/11 happens, November 26, 2008. And for him, that was a very devastating blow because he saw the world like just collapsing because he had everything under control.
Yeah.
And he couldn't quite understand why 26/11 happened. There was really nothing that he had done. Of all the prime ministers, he was the one who believed in a relationship with Pakistan. And he dealt with the dictator, Musharraf. And so he couldn't understand why this had happened. What was the provocation? There was no provocation. In fact, it's difficult to think. Maybe today you can say there's provocation, but nothing at that time. And it was a very, very diabolical attack in Mumbai, in Churchgate, and Marine Drive, in Kolaba. These are things which no one imagined. So he was definitely completely, crestfallen. It had an impact on his...
But it did not result in the PMO taking a muscular security approach or a muscular foreign policy approach post that.
See, a lot of this has been written about.
You would have seen it too.
I saw it. So I remember that in the first 1 month or 2 months after 26/11, we were inundated with foreign delegations who were traveling all the way to India, basically to tell us and say, please don't do anything. That was the basic objective. We are totally with you, we sympathize, our tears are with you, but don't do anything. And literally begging us. So this is exactly the kind of attitude and the response which the world had when 9/11 happened. When you had an enraged superpower which had been hit in its heart, when the entire world went and condoled with America to hold its hand. Same thing happened to us. So that happened. But so that was one thing. The second thing, of course, was a lot of other things were done internally. Mr. Chidambaram became Home Minister.
Home Minister, correct.
A lot of other structural reforms took place, beefing up of intelligence, this, that and the other. A lot of it is still surviving, those steps.
Right.
But yes, I mean, this idea that you go, and it was considered, but finally it was chosen not to do. But you had a very unfortunate situation, and it's a lesson for everyone today, that with the best of intention, you were kicked by the Pakistani establishment. And there the complicity is so ironclad of the Pakistani state with what happened. So I think it was in a sense, again, a defining moment. It was a double whammy for Manmohan Singh, both the economy part and the Pakistan part. And by the way, at that time our relations with China were okay. I mean, they were not so bad. So yes.
And he could never make a visit to Pakistan, though he was born there. Undivided India, but born there. Gah.
He was born in Gah.
Gah.
Correct.
And everybody was like, okay, he is going to visit. He's going to be that prime minister who visits. But it wasn't him to do that. It wasn't in his tenure that it happened.
So I think every prime minister...
But he was never emotional about that part maybe he wasn't an emotion given to emotions anyway or display of it, but one didn't see that he wanted to do it. Like, at least it wasn't visible. It was people who thought that he's a person who is born there, so he may want to.
So again, when we talk about different personalities, we were talking, again, this is a case study of someone who actually believed that India must have a certain relationship with Pakistan. It was possible, and we should do it for the sake of India. But if a person like Manmohan Singh cannot succeed, I don't see who can succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, Gujral failed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Manmohan Singh failed. All these peaceniks, they failed.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is, टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.